Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Checkmate playlist. In this playlist, we have a list of catastrophical and brilliant games. They're very, very chaotic and many plot twists, and this game is no different today. Today's game, I scoured through the chess subreddit on the Chess for Beginners section. And I found a game between a 200 versus an 100. The link of the game is in the description if you want to analyze it on your own. But I don't think you want to analyze it after this video. And the reason I'm doing it is because maybe you can learn, maybe you can laugh and brighten your day or smash your day. Because this game is a funeral of the chess. So, without further ado, also join my Discord. And join my Discord, subscribe, hit the likes. I'm trying to reach 500, not 500k, 500 subs, like to get that monetization going. Yeah, let's get to the game, which will scar us for the rest of our lives. Alright, so the second game of the checkmate list has been gone. Like I told you in the beginning, there's like a link to the Reddit post about the game. You can, watch that. Because some of you might think this is not real. And I'm going to be honest with you, I thought the same. I was searching through Reddit to find a good game, and I found this on the chess subreddit. And I forgot all my chess skills in one day. Let's begin. So I have a Sicilian defense by a 200 and a 100. Okay, so we're going to see some Sicilian theory? No, we have d3. That's the first WTF moment of the game. But it's not even the worst thing. I mean, yeah, it's kind of weird. Like, most people here play this with Mora if they're going to go for a d-pawn push. But no, I have d3. It's fine. The second WTF moment is c4. Okay, so the reason it's so bad is because you're just cleanly giving away a pawn for no absolute reason. And white takes. Okay, double pawns, but doesn't matter doesn't matter. They have double pawns, you can easily defend them. B6. Okay, every move makes it worse. Every move makes it absolutely worse. B3. Okay, not bad. Knight C6. Bishop F4. Bishop A6. Okay, so not the traditional square, but instead the Ooga Booga square. I understand. G3. And now there's a contest for advantage after the move e5. Because that move just grabs some space from the opponent and kicks away a piece. And I'm sorry, a piece. Not piss, a piece. Sorry, I'm tired. And then there's ideas with h5 here, or developing the bishop on a proactive square like that. And I mean, h5 here is not too bad. It's justified. But we have g3 and bishop takes c4, the third WTF moment of the game. And for those that are above the range of 800, you can see that this is clearly a free bishop, and it is promptly taken. And a new bishop has been replaced. Congrats. E6. I don't know why, but sure, E6. And knight F3 and F5. Okay. Folks, I also play F5 in my games, but not in situations like this. If I want to play an F5, there is a couple of criteria to be met. Number 1, not losing pieces. Number 2, not destroying the king safety too much. And number 3, and most importantly, if F5 works. For example, in G3 and B3 setups, with black you can throw 4 pawns, or even with white you can do the same. You can throw 4 pawns, 2 knights, 2 bishops, and a queen, and connect the rooks and stuff like that. You can do that. You can throw all 4 pawns in the center, like E, D, C, and F pawns. You can throw them in the center as long as your king is fine. But here it's not fine, because the reason it says take is because after you take back, there's a couple of problems. Number 1, after he castles and you develop your knight and gives you a sack and you cover, and he does, like, let's say, development, you can't even castle now. Congratulations. You have blundered your castling rights, and the position is plus 9.8 because your king is stuck in the center. You're down a piece, and also down a pawn. And white's pieces will be way faster, and you're stuck in the center. And maybe white will throw his pawns at you. Maybe it's going to make things even worse. But instead of that, we have e5, locking down everything. It's still not too bad, but I guess now you gotta develop your bishop somewhere and then develop the knight on e7 after you develop the bishop. But we have the fourth WTF moment with knight takes e5. Ah, man. Knight takes e5. Knight takes e5. Okay, so we hung a bishop, a horse, and a pawn in the span of, like, what, 6 moves? 10 moves, actually. D6. So the whole point of sacking the knight was to, play d6. Actually, here there's a trap. Queen h5 check. This is a very common trap. The point is that if the the black king moves, it's like, in this case, if the black king moves, it's mate. Ignore the YouTube stuff. It's like from, I don't even have that guy subbed, but he somehow is in my notifications. Anyway, in this case, this is mate. Maybe sometimes it's not gonna be mate, but the king will be very wide open. But if you block with a pawn, there is a sacrifice with a knight, and you get your free brilliant or top engine or even great move. And after he takes back, you win a rook for a knight. Congratulations. Actually, you win a rook and a pawn for a knight, which is makes it even worse. And they can try to trap your queen, but like you're just gonna evade because this guy. The reason why you can't take is because you're pinned. So if you take with the queen, then you're gonna take the horse. And as you can see, this position is undefendable. You cannot defend this position. And in some cases, you might even be able to take here and just do this. And now white's completely winning. Instead of all that, we have knight c6. Okay, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's definitely not bad. We have queen c8, castles. Fifth WTF moment, that's a free knight. And, I mean, white is still completely winning, even though he hung a knight, but he's still completely winning because of the fact that he's up a whole bishop, and the position is kind of opened, and will be used in advantage. Bishop takes c6, knight e7, blocking the bishop. Bishop c4, double attack the pawn. And queen takes c4, the sixth WTF moment. That is a free queen, which is promptly taken. Okay, the engine at this point says castle long and accept your fate, but yeah. Normally these games end in like 5 moves, or 10, or even 15 if you're chess. This game went for like 30 plus moves. Buckle up. Knight c6, queen d5, knight b4, queen takes a8 that was a fair rook, king goes up, queen takes a7, it is mate. After king e8, it's like mate. Yeah, mate in 4. He finds this, but instead of giving mate in 1 with that rook, just go down and give them mate. Just go down, okay? But no, we attack the horse. Okay, attack the horse. Okay, it's fine. King d7, the horse is free. You don't take it. King c6, mate in 3. Can you find mate in 3? You gotta lock away the king. Like, the only move are get instantly mated or go up and get mated here. Like, after this move, there is actually this, and you are mated brutally on the board. Instead of that, we have rook e8 trying to win the bishop. The bishop is 1. And the rooks are also traded. And black is left with a horse and 4 pawns versus a horse, a bishop, a rook, and a queen, and 6 pawns. Knight takes c2. Okay, we're gonna win a rook at least, but it doesn't matter because, yeah. Knight c3. And you have a chance to take a rook, and you play king c5 and walk on another check, which is also a fork of a king, knight, and a pawn. King takes c4, and instead of taking the damn horse, you play knight d5, or even saving the rook. h5. Okay, so black is out of options. After a4, black realizes, hey, I can take a rook. I am so smart. Thank God I wasn't taken for 5 moves straight, or the rook moved like for 5 moves straight. I'm so smart. a5. I mean, black is still completely lost. I mean, it's made in 8. King b5, g4. Take, knight b3, queen f7, knight c5, queen takes c7, knight b7. That was a free horse, but we ignore that. h6, king a6, h7, and knight d8, and we promote to a rook. Okay, so you promote to a rook. You're not allowed to disrespect your opponent in this level, for God's sake. You are 112 and 200. You can't do that yet. You gotta grow up in level. You gotta at least know how to do a rook checkmate in case things don't go your way. Okay, good. Knight b7, f4, knight a5, f5, and a couple moves later, he promotes a second queen. And we have the following ending. Now, there's like mate in 3 here. Many different ways. But I said in the introduction that it was a draw. How was it a draw? Well, there's a famous saying it says that a perfect game is always a draw. After king d5 and queen g7 to queen f6. I think that's the coordinate. Queen gf6. Yeah, that's the coordinate. We have king c6. Queen takes d8. Queen takes d8. Queen takes d6 check. King moves here, and there's mate in 1. But you gotta check with the queen. He has to block with the knight. It's made in 2. It's literally made in 2, for God's sake. Queen b6 checkmate. This is mate. And this is mate in a couple, I think. Yeah. No. There is this mate. And there's also queen b to e5, which is this mate. That has to block. There's 2 mates in this position. Is there another one? Is this mate? It's made in 2, but very kind of hard to spot. But instead of that, you play queen takes, and then 1 legal move. And now, this is mate in like 2. This is mate in 1. This is mate in 1. And this is also mate in 1. I think this is also mate in 1. Yeah, there's like 4 mates in 1. And a lot of mate in 2s and mate in 3s. Also, I think that's also mate. That's mate in 2, yeah. And is that mate? That's gonna be mate in a couple, yeah. There's a bunch of mates. But instead of that, white played rook c4 check. But it wasn't a check. And it is a stalemate. "48 moves over chess game. A Sicilian defense, which included the gamut of the c-pawn, which I have never seen. Only in 100 ELO chess will this be seen. Not here. And yet, after a long battle, where black lost a bishop, a horse, and then lost a queen, and rook, a pawn, and then a bishop, he's rook for a rook, then he lost another pawn. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to tap that, sorry. It's, my wallpaper is like a car, it's a Lambo. And then he proceeded to lose this pawn, and this pawn, not the knight. The knight was the immortal knight, and then white proceeded to promote a rook, take the remaining pieces, and then swiftly deliver a stalemate. What a game, everybody. Please, if you want to be a smart person and disrespect your opponent, always look for checks and always watch out for stalemates. Now get out of here. I need a break from this.